All right, peace, peace, peace. Shalom, shalom. To all you brothers and sisters out there that may be tuning into this video, Israelites that worship the Most High as a beloved Son in spirit and in truth. It's your brother Nick coming back at y'all another video. And the topic for today's lesson is every people walk after their own will. Right? Today I want to go into the scriptures, the Holy Bible, and prove to you that the do as thou wilt mentality, or doing what you want to do, doing what you think is right, following your own wicked mind, that's not righteous. It's not in harmony with what pleases the Almighty, right? So it's a part of the manifold reasons why the Most High, the God of Israel, is about to plague the earth and rain down nuclear missiles upon many lands, especially here in America, aka Babylon the Great. But I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get some scripture. So people living with this mindset, living with this do what you want outlook on life, is a sign that destruction is coming from on high. Divine vengeance and retribution is coming because of this evil and wicked mindset. Right, so the first scripture I want to go into is 2 Ezra, the 3rd chapter, and the 4th verse, and it reads this: O Lord, who bears rule, you spake at the beginning when you did plant the earth, and that yourself alone and commanded people, and gave a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of your hands, and did breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before you. And you led him into paradise, which your right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward. And unto him you gave commandment to love your way, which he transgressed, and immediately you appointed death in him and his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. It's the point. Verse 8, and every people walked after the imagination of their will, their own will, and did wonderful things before you, and despised your commandments, right? So the inhabitants of the earth before the flood had their do as thou wilt mindset. They walked after their own will. Now granted that there's no such thing as free will, which also leads to the topic of predestination, right? The Most High direct this man's steps. He said your instructions before you go to sleep to program what you about to do for the next day. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. Not story, but a whole nother lesson. I mean, and we can get into that another time. But for right now, people just, did what they wanted to do, right? And if you read Romans 1:21, it tells you they became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. So their minds were corrupted with evil, and it caused the wicked vibration in the earth, right? Which was displeasing to the Most High. Let's go to Genesis 6:5. It says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his mind was only evil continually, right? Because they walked after their own will. They did what they thought was right, right? Following their own wicked mindset. You know what I mean? They're doing all types of wickedness, man. Romans, the 1st chapter, gives you a list in detail about all the stuff that they was doing back then. The same things is happening now, right? It's continuing on, in 2 Ezra 3:9. It says, and again in the process of time, you brought the flood upon those that dwelt in the world, because it was wicked. It says, and destroyed them, right? Why did the Most High bring the flood? Because they rebelled against his righteousness. They rebelled against the righteousness which is of the Most High. Verse 10, and it came to pass in every of them that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these. So the Lord, the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. To every action, there's a consequence with the Lord, man. Right? Adam went off, the consequence was death. Adam's descendants went off, and the consequence was the flood, man. To destroy them all. You obey him, you live. You defy him, you die. Period. It's that simple. Verse 11. Nevertheless, one of them you left, namely Noah with his household, which is 8 people. It says, of whom came all righteous men, and it happened that when they dwelt upon the earth, they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply and had gotten them many children and were a great people. They began to be more ungodly than the first. Right? So this record that we read here is describing people's behavior centuries ago. Right? So how much more now? 2 Corinthians 4:30, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time? A lot. It says, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? Time of threshing means destruction, right? Which is the day of the Lord. It's fastly approaching. Verse 31, ponder now by yourself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth, right? As the days of Noah were, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And to be honest, it's going to be worse than what it was, before the flood, right? And I think Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, goes, along with the things that they was doing before the flood, all the wicked, things that they was partaking in that caused the Most High to destroy them. So again, following your own heart, doing what you want, doing what feels good, doing what makes you happy, doing what you think is right, in wickedness and vanity. The people that have that mindset are ignorant of the righteousness which is of the Most High. Romans 10:3, for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves to the righteousness of the Most High. See, man, especially JCAS, man, especially the Lord's people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they try to establish their own righteousness by doing what they think right, instead of doing what the Most High says is right. The whole duty of man is to fear the Most High, and keep His commandments, right? A lot of Israelites, a lot of inhabitants of this world rebel against their duty, man, right? By not submitting to His standard. That's extremely prideful. And the Bible say, woe to him or her, right, that strives with his maker. They don't even know that the bullshit they own puts them in a line of fire to receive His wrath, right? So from here, man, let's just grab some witnesses to this point, right? The topic entitled the lesson. Every people walked after their own will. They had their do as thou wilt mentality. You can grab some other witnesses from different parts of the Bible to show you that that's off. That's not the right thing to do. Proverbs 12:15, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkens unto counsel is wise. Right? So a lot of people in this world is extremely foolish, man. They're fools. Because a lot of the evil and wicked things that they think they're doing is right is actually wrong. It says, but he that hearkens unto counsel, hearkens means to listen and obey. It says, hearken unto counsel is wise. The counsel of who? The counsel of the Most High, His beloved Son. You wise if you do that, right? And the counsel of the Most High is found within the Holy Bible, right? Because Scripture tell you it's in the New Testament that all Scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Right? That's good counsel. That's good doctrine. It's found within the Bible, man. You wise if you follow it. To the best of your ability, of course. Right? That's why you gotta believe in Yahweh Shai. Believe in the Son of the Most High. Right, that you may be covered. Proverbs 14 and verse 12, there is a way, meaning an action or behavior, which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Right? The wages of sin is what? Death. Right? So there's a way such as sleeping with your neighbor's wife, right? Stealing something from your brother, murdering your brother, getting tattoos, right? What else? Being a homosexual, man, being a whore, worshiping idols, worshiping all these other false gods beside the Most High, the God of Israel, partaking in witchcraft, etc. The list goes on, right? That may seem right. It may seem like the right thing to do in a man's mind or a woman's mind, but the end thereof, so the outcome or consequence of you committing that action is death, man. It's the ways of death. It's a path of destruction, right? He that do wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. Ain't no respect of person with the Lord. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart, meaning the mind, is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? See? So you can't follow your own mind, man, right? Because the heart is deceitful. The mind is deceitful. Because it's a place, where your judgment takes place. If you ain't got the Spirit of the Lord, demons can pull you in the wrong direction. But for the elect, of course, we all sinners and stuff like that. But the angels pull, the faithful. He pulled their mind toward righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures speak about the upright in heart. You may do the things that's, that may be wrong and not pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. But through your faith in his Son, and also your mindset toward the whole situation, and you knowing that it was wrong, and you have a repentant, contrite, and humble spirit, the Most High deal with that, man. You see what I'm saying? He'll still deal with you. He'll preserve you alive, right? Especially in the time of Jacob's trouble. But anyways, the point is, our minds, the minds of man is wicked because we corruptible. We're in this human flesh that demons have access to. You can't follow your own mind. You're supposed to follow the words of the Lord. Verse 10, I, the Lord, search the heart, the mind, right? The Spirit of the Lord is likened to a candlestick, searching all the inward parts of the belly, as the scriptures say. He said, I try to arrange to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings, man. Right? It's judgment. For we must all stand before the judgment seat for Mashiach, that a man may receive the things done in his body, whether they be good or bad. And we all gonna have to be met with that that thing, for the lack of better words that comes to mind. Y'all gonna be met with that reality. But the just shall live by faith, man. Sirach 5 and 2. Follow not your own mind and your strength to walk in the ways of your heart. And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge your pride. Yep. Don't think can't nothing happen to you because of your wicked shit that you're doing, man. Don't think there ain't no consequence for your actions. The Lord gonna revenge your pride. Think that the Most High can't control you for what you be doing and shit. Wanna be all wild and out here doing God knows what, man. That ain't right. Especially, rebelling against his way. Don't follow your own mind. I read in scripture before, the heart is deceitful above all things. And it's desperately wicked. You want to stay away from wickedness, man. Flee from sin that's from the face of a serpent, right? To forsake unrighteousness, is a thing pleasing to the Lord. Right? To depart from wickedness is pleasing to the Lord. So you depart from wickedness by not following that, demonic vibration in your heart, in your mind. Right? Don't walk in the ways of your heart. Verse 4, say not, I have sinned, and what harm happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering, and he will in no wise let you go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin, right? To pile up iniquity. And said not his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rest upon sinners. Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Most High's balance, man. Right? He'll get you for doing what you want to do. Let's grab this last precept right here. And there's some more that line up with this, but this is there's some more scriptures and many more scriptures that line up, But we're gonna get this and close out because the video already been long enough. It's in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 9, it says, rejoice, O young man or woman, right, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth, and walk in the ways of your heart, which scriptures promoted you not to do, right, and in the sight of your eyes. So, yeah, you can go ahead, go and do this shit, Walk after your own will. Do what you think right. Do what you want to do. Do as thou wilt, right? It says, but know thou that for all these things God will bring you into judgment, man. So yeah, you can do that shit. That's your life at the end of the day. Before man is life and death, and with the liking from best shall be given him. Right? So it's your choice, man. Pick your poison. It's your choice. But just know at the end of the day, you pick the wrong thing, the Most High gonna fuck you up for it, man. And it's just that simple. So with that, Lord willing, oh yeah, I forgot to add, and if you do obey, you're gonna get rewarded, in his mercy, man, with salvation and preservation. Most High deal with you. He'll shine his face upon you, man. You know what I mean?